Hello Internet, welcome back to CodeStar channel. So in this video we are still on DOM manipulation, which stands for document object model in JavaScript. Alright, so if you're new to this channel or you're new to DOM manipulation, you want to learn about DOM manipulation, then I recommend you to go to the previous video where we created a simple counter application like this where you can increment your count as well as decrement your count. All right, and make sure when you're going through this video, make sure you practice with your laptop and do it yourself, and ensure that if you come across any error, make sure to paste it on the comment section and I will reply. All right, so let's go into what we have for today. So today we are looking at something like this, right? So look at this application. We had created this application in our previous playlist. If you follow through, we did something like this using only HTML and CSS. That means we wrote all our codes inside HTML and CSS. But because we want to write less code and very optimized code, it is necessary that we do it inside our JavaScript file. That's the concept of DOM manipulation, right? We do it inside a JavaScript file, and then we use our HTML to render everything that is inside our JavaScript file. So we're going to be doing something like this, right? And I'm going to give you a little feature of this. This is an application that fetches this product from an external API, right? It's not within, we call it an API. I'm sure we're confused about what an API is, but you understand it right in subsequent videos, right? We called an API that produced or that provided these values, and we used this application to render it to give this, right? So we're going to be doing something like this today. So to do that, first of all, I'd like to comment on the things that I did in my previous video, right? So that comment it, okay. Okay, also comment this, and then here, okay. Remember, we are building on our previous knowledge, and when you refresh this, it's an empty canvas. We're building on previous knowledge, and some of us will be asking, why are we going through all this route, right? It's very essential we go through this. It will enable us to appreciate frameworks by the time we start using them, right? We could have just gone into React and Angular and all of that, but then it was necessary to go through this journey to enable us to appreciate it. And when you start using frameworks, you understand how frameworks work, because if you're able to do it here, then you do it even much more easier with frameworks, right? So good, let's start. So this is what we're trying to create, right? Using the concept of DOM manipulation. It means we're going to write in most of our codes in our JavaScript file. How do we do that? Okay, first of all, you must understand that in DOM manipulation, there must be an element in your HTML file that you are referencing. There must be an HTML file. And if you look at here, we don't have anything here. So to create a tag, right? To create a tag, there must be an element or a tag that you're referencing, and we have to create it first. That's the first thing you have to do, and we're going to call it wrapper. So I'm going to say div id wrapper, right? So we're going to be referencing this, and we're going to be doing everything, right, and be appending it inside this. Though you may not see it in the HTML file, but that's what we're going to be doing from our JavaScript file. All right, so let's code along. So let's go to our JavaScript file, and the first thing we do is that we want to select that particular elements, right? So how do you do that? We already learned that in our previous video. We do this const wrapper equals to document dot get element by ID. So we have gotten that element by how? Referencing this. So make sure you copy this. It has to be the same. If not, it will be confused about what you want. Okay, so this is it. We have this wrapper. So let's go back to what we're trying to create. So look at this, right? Look at this. So there is a large wrapper that holds all these cards, and these are each product, right, holds an image. Each product holds an image, holds a title, that's the name of the product, holds a price, holds a description, and a button, right? So, and we now have 5 columns of an image inside the wrapper. So that's what we're trying to do. So now this wrapper, we've gotten hold of this wrapper, so we are going to now create images, or rather we're going to create different cards, right? Remember, each product is a card. This is a card, this is also a card as well, right? So we're going to create a card. How do we create a card? To create a card, we have to create an element, a div element. Remember, we are doing it from the JavaScript file this time around, so it's not going to be the same way. So say const, right? Const card equal to document dot create elements, right? What element are we trying to create? Remember, I said it's a div, so you come here and you say div, right? Good. So we have this. So we have created a card. So each card has an image inside it, and each card has an image inside it, a title, a price, and a description. So let's create an image. So we're saying const image, right, equal to document dot create element image. Good, right? So, and we're going to now, how do we put the image itself inside that image tag? So there's a particular attribute called image source. So img.src equal to, then you make sure you paste the link of that particular listing, right? So to do that, you can just go, let's see if we can get this link here. Save image, copy image address. Okay, so I think we can have it here. Okay, so this is the image address. Okay, let me be sure that the image address works. So I'm going to open it on another web. Okay, so it works, so that can go. So this is the image address, and what else? So what are we going to do? Let's make sure that this image is displaying here. How do we do that? Right, you see it's not displaying now. To do that, we'll do this. Now we're going to say card, right? Card dot append child. I'm not going to say image ing. So what is happening here is that, remember, we have created the card element, and we just created the image and attributed the link to this, right? But then we need to put the image inside the card. That is why we're doing this. Append child is just like saying we're asking the card to take in this image that we have created. Remember, right? And so you will not see it yet until you now do wrapper dot append child. Now say card. Okay, card. Now, why do we have to drill down to wrapper? Why? Because it is wrapper that is being referenced in this HTML file. So if we don't do this, there's no way to save. So when you save and you come here and you refresh, you see the image here. All right, so we have been able to display the image. So let's see how we can display this title. And to display the title, right, we also need to create an element for that. So we say constant title. Let's just call it title. We now say document dot create elements. We're going to call it h3. Let's call it an h3 tag because title usually have a thick font. So we're going to say this, and of course, and the title has to have a name, right? So we're going to say title dot text content. Remember this property. Text contents will now be what? Text contents will be let's just give it, this is a shirt, right? A polo. So I'm going to say polo, right? Polo, right? So this polo, good. Yeah. So now this title, the text content is polo. Of course, it's not going to display until I do what? I have to also append it here inside my card here. So I'm going to say card dot append child. So I'm going to say title, save, and then when I come here and refresh, you see it's title. And next we want to do is this price. So let's do the price too. So I come here and then do the same thing here. So I'm going to say price, change this to price, change this to maybe H5, and then come here. I say price of contents, right? Price of contents, I can say $40 and save it, and then I would say card dot append child price, and make sure you do it in the same order that it should appear in your browser. So when I save this, and then we should see price, right? But look at this price, it's green color, so I want to give this also a green color. So how do I do that? I can say price dot style dot color and equal to say green, and then do this, and when I refresh my work, you see that it's green. And let's do all this too for the description. So I copy this, so I can come here and say const description, and I say documents dot create elements. I'm going to say p tag, and then do this. I say description dot text contents equal to. Okay, let me just delete this so that it doesn't have that. And then that's it. And then let me give it a color of gray, just like we have there. Description dot style dot color equal to gray. See work, and then when we save our work here, okay, I have not appended it, so I need to append it. So I'll say card dot append child description and save it, and then you come here, you save it. Good. And then lastly, let's create a button tab. So let me just copy this one, so we don't take time. So we'll do this button, and then call button. So I can call this submit button just to give a better subscription. Submit button. Text contents, let's say open. Okay. Good. Submit button, copy it, put it here, put it here. Okay, and then here we can change this background color to, okay, this should be background color. We're gonna say background color. Background color, we can say orange. Then we're going to append it here. We're going to say card, let's append child, submit button. Let's see. And then when I save this, you see our button here. So we have something like this, right? So I'm going to show you quickly how we can also, instead of doing all this style inside our JavaScript, we are going to do it in our CSS file. Now to do that, this wrapper, let's assume we want to style this wrapper from our CSS file. We come in and say wrapper dot class name, and then we can call it wrapper. Let's just call it wrapper. Wrapper. Then go to CSS and come here, say dot wrapper, and then so let's give it a background to be sure that it's working. Background of red, right? So you see that we have this, right? Okay, so let's remove it. So our image is too big, so how do we reduce it? Let's even go to this place and reduce our image. Where's image? So let's do this. Let's say image dot style dot height. Let's give it let's say 200 pixel, right? And let's come here, and then we have something decent. Let's reduce it to 100, and then save the work. Good. So we have this, right? And lastly, let's see how let's go to this style. Let us style this wrapper, and go to this place, and then do something like okay, let's just say display grid, right? Let's do some grid styling here. Display grid and say grid templates columns, say 1 FR, 1 FR, 1 FR. Okay, so let's also see how we can style these this card here. Let's create a style for it too. So come here and say card dot class name equal to card or class name. We can give it card. Let's just give it card, right? And then come here too, and here we can also give it card dot card. Okay. So what we're going to do here is okay, grid template column. Okay, let's give this one a background of like off-white, and give this one a background of white. So I'm going to also give it a property of gap. Let's say gap 1 rem between each cards, right? And let's give it a background of what background should we give it now? Background of let's say off-white. So let's give it off-white. So it's gonna be F9, something like this, I guess. Okay. And then let's give this one a background of white. So we're gonna copy this and say white is FFF, right? So this is and save. Why is this okay? Why is this not working? Okay, there shouldn't be a comma here. Yeah, there shouldn't be a comma here. Okay, you can see the demarcation here. So this is how we do it. So, you know, this is the idea of using your DOM to create such, right? This is the code here. So I'll end here, and in the next video we're going to be doing an API call, very important, where we'll be having to call an API and endpoints that will fetch us list of these products as an array, and then we are going to we're going to use it on this application and display it like this, and we add other styles to come out very well. But this video is just to teach you how to do it, and you can go further to style it to your perfect taste, right? All right, so that will be it for today. See you in the next video, and have a blessed day. Bye. Cheers.